Are you more a stabbing kind of guy or a strangulation type of guy? Because I can see the appeal of both. Hello, everyone. Terrence here with Hollywood Already Did It. If you haven't already, go ahead, like, share, subscribe to that channel, ring that bell below. Anytime we have something, you will be among the first to know. I like to be hugged. Third episode of Chucky is out. I'm a little bit behind. Life, the world. Tuesdays I also do American Crime Stories, so between the two of them both releasing on Tuesday. One has to give a little bit if the rest of the world is not approving my ability to talk about these shows. That said, finally I've seen the third episode of Chucky, and it is a doozy. Chucky is starting to infiltrate Hackensack more and more. He's becoming this is sort of becoming his world, as if it wasn't always. You gotta love how foul and foul mouthed this show is, because just even in the opening recap of the last episode, Chucky drops an F bomb. The last time on F and Chucky, I'm like, oh, well, this is what we're doing. Thank you, Brad Dourif. Thank you. This one picks up right after the end of last episode where Chucky and Jake are pontificating about murder. And Chucky is continuing to drop those wonderful seeds of like, hey, what type of murderer would you be? And Jake's like, I don't know if I can do this. Chucky's like, well, I got these small murder hands. This has been very difficult for me all this time. But you always know that Chucky finds an imaginative way to murder everyone. So while they're going back and forth, Jake sort of asks, well, and it seems like Jake is trying to find out his way or his pathway into this life. And so he asks Chucky straight up, like, how did you become this? And Chucky thinks he's talking about how did he get into that body. He starts talking about voodoo. But he's like, no, I mean specifically the Charles Lee Ray aspect of you. When did you first murder? And so all those little cutscenes that we've been getting at the beginning of previous episodes, we sort of get a side story of a long form story of Charles Lee Ray telling us that first time he murdered. Surprisingly, you come to an end where he thought about murdering the girl at his birthday party who was like, hey, I want some cake. But that's not his first kill. His first kill winds up being his own mother after seeing someone else rob and murder his father. And it just shows you that he wasn't created as a murderer. He was born that way. He's always had the gene and the desire to do this, which kind of counters everything that Jake is sort of going through. He is becoming that, or feels like he might be becoming that, but he doesn't feel like he has the inclination to do so. So he takes a whole journey to go visit his mom's gravesite and kind of reforms that he's not probably as bad as Chucky has sort of pointed him in the direction of doing. But before he goes on with this venture of looking at his parents' gravesites and coming one to one with that, Jake does attempt, or he at least ventures out to make that move. And he goes to, while Lexi's doing her run, her little morning workout, he attempts or makes a pass at trying to kill her, and Junior kind of sees it and stops it. And Junior, worried about Lexi, it seemed like more so worried about Lexi than he cares about what's happened to Jake or Jake's father, his uncle. He goes to Lexi and he's like, hey, you need to apologize. Like, what you did was wrong. And Lexi's having no parts of that. She's like, I'm not apologizing. Screw you and screw him. She's like, I don't care about that. So I'm like, what is he going to do? Junior doesn't answer that, but he kind of knows, like, hey, he's not altogether there, and something terrible could happen to you. She's not going to apologize until she needs something. And then her little sister sort of is having a panic attack, freaking out, and it's like, I want Chucky. Chucky's what I want. I'm not doing her normal shades and her normal whatever else that calms her down. It ain't getting it done. So she has to go apologize to Jake to sort of see if she can get Chucky to visit. And while she's about to visit him, Jake's in the garage having like a murder weapon test. He's like out there just stabbing and testing weapons, and he sort of she walks into the garage with him with a meat cleaver, like everything you could think of in his hands. And then while she's turned back, he kind of has the arm up and looks like he's going to, but he doesn't. She turns around. But all in all, in that moment, he's like, I'm not helping you, no. I'm not giving you Chucky. And the apology that she gave, and seemed quasi-sincere, although we all know that she is just grade A, B, starts turning again. She's like, well, F you. I don't need to be here. Chucky and Jake regroup, and Chucky's kind of like, you've had multiple times to try to kill this bitch, and you've not. What the hell is going on? And so they come up with that. They were like, look, we can make this easier for you. Give me the knife and put me in there. Like we have an open invitation, which is sort of said in the last episode. I don't know why you would put Jake in that situation. He's not a killer, at least not yet. He hasn't been pushed far enough, so as Chucky has sort of said in this. So, but Chucky's there. Put Chucky in that home and he'll get the job done. So that's exactly what they do. He takes Chucky over there and much to Lexi's surprise, after already being told no. But there's an end game. While this is going on, Devin's mom is sort of doing a little bit more legwork to figure out what the hell is going on with Jake and Chucky and all of this. So she goes to the teacher and kind of is like, hey, I need some information on your kids. The teacher's not really that willing to do so, but because of this situation has sort of, and because of the Lexi situation, has sort of spurned her to have a parent-teacher conference with Jake's guardians, his uncle and aunt, and Lexi's mom, who's the mayor, and her father. And they sort of have a heart-to-heart moment. Blame is being thrown everywhere. It's just trying to show you that Lexi has earned the reason that she is the way that she is. While that's happening, because the parent-teacher conference is existing, and I don't know how long this parent-teacher conference is going on, because the Lexi is asked to watch her little sister. She tucks her in. She's got Chucky. She does the snug in a rug type of thing, and Chucky knows that that's his time to go kill. He actually even asks, like, hey, I'm going to go kill your sister. Are you coming with me? And she's like, no, I'm sleepy. Chucky's like, all right, cool. I'm going to go do it on my own. At least he had the decency to ask her first. Like, you want to come with me? In a little funny moment, he can't quite get out because he is snug as a rug. I mean, he even says it, so he has to sort of slice himself open and destroy the sheets, which is funny. But while she puts Lexi away, they have a party, like a rave, but it's a audio, like I don't know if you ever went to these type of parties. I haven't, but I've seen them in a lot of movies more so than actually in real life. But all the music is played through headphones, so everyone has headphones and are listening to the same song and dancing and having fun, but the sound in the actual house is quiet, mainly because, they don't want to disturb their little sister. So it's a way to have a party, but not have noise happening, but it's also a way to create a mode where nobody is hearing any other things that are happening in the home. And so while this massive rave is going on, Chucky comes around the corner and stabs Oliver. Oliver is, for those who don't remember, Oliver is the closeted, probably half lover of Lexi, while she is with Junior in front of everybody. Oliver is her old lover and probably current still lover, since she doesn't seem to be getting anything she wants from Junior. Chucky comes around that corner and stabs Oliver, thinking that it's Lexi, and he looks up and sees Oliver's like, oh well, I mean, shit happens. Kill him now. She just starts stabbing him, and he's stabbing him on the upper landing of the house where everybody else is sort of getting the groove on, getting the dance on. I don't know how many. I guess people do when they're really into the music, dance with their eyes closed, but it's very perfect that he is just stabbing away, and no one is the wiser. But then Lexi's little sister wakes up and kind of says, hey, Chucky's not here. Can you go help find Chucky? And Lexi starts going around and finding Chucky. He's like, I don't know where Chucky is. Go back to bed. Puts her in bed, goes to smoke a joint, gets high. It's weird that Lexi would just break off from her own party that she's created, has all these people in there to get high, and do it alone, not with anybody else. That's what was a little odd, but whatever. Sure. She goes to the room. Chucky's already sort of set the stage. He's put his shoes under the curtain so that it looks like he may be standing there, which is, if you think your sister's doll is missing, you're looking for the toys, like, oh, those are the shoes for him. Let me go over there. She goes over there, and then Chucky jumps out of nowhere and just starts trying to strangle her. His knife drops, so he doesn't have that to stab her, but he's just trying to choke her up. And you get this funny little sequence of little Chucky, probably that big, on the back of Lexi, kind of just getting swung around, but he has a pretty good grip on the necklace that she has and is choking her out. Meanwhile, the joint that she was smoking flies off and there is a fire that starts. And while he's choking her out, you get this pretty cool shot of Chucky with flames behind him. He finally gets the knife back and is about to stab her. But the entire house is catching on fire. All these kids are oblivious. They don't feel the heat. They don't feel anything. They're just in their moment, grooving out. This is the danger of having those headphone parties. There's got to be at least one person on watch out to make sure that everybody else is safe, because somebody could come in there and just wreck shop. But the fire engulfs everything. It's basically catching on fire, and the parents have not returned. So it's going to be interesting to see in the next, and that's where the episode ends. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the future episode, because it doesn't look like Lexi gets her comeuppance in this one. And it seems like from the preview that Jake is sort of going to be more on trying to rectify and get Lexi out of danger. I think the whole story of seeing how Chucky was born that way, seeing Chucky kind of always being like that, and seeing that he was not that type of person, and visiting his grave, the grave of his parents, specifically more so his mom, there is good in him. And I don't think he wants, as much as Lexi has caused him pure humiliation and pain, I don't think he wants to see her die anymore. Which is not going to sit well with Chucky. So that's the episode. It's fun. Whenever you kind of just let Chucky go and do his one-liners and just have his laugh and kind of even open the episode with F-bombs, you're kind of like, well, cool, that's what I'm here for. This is it. This is what I need. So really well done episode. Dom Mancini's having a blast. Brad Dourif's having a blast. I think I am of the point now, though, because I know they're all part of the series, that I love to see Jennifer Tilly come in. I love to see original Andy come in, get some of those characters that have sort of been in this lineage the whole time, kind of come around and just see this world. Because right now, Chucky's having his way with this town. And I would love to see some of that kind of cave in on him to give him a little bit more of a opposition. Because right now, he's having his way. But it's fun. We're in a good time for my horror fans, my Halloween fans. You're getting this. But it's weird that this show is going to continue on past the mark of Halloween. It's going to be interesting to see how well it lasts going into Thanksgiving break, practically. What do you guys think about episode 3 of Chucky? Go ahead and leave your thoughts and comments in the comments below. If you haven't already, you can follow us on Twitter at HollywoodADI, or you can hit us up on email at HollywoodAlreadyDidIt@gmail.com. And we also have a podcast by the same name that's on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that plays podcasts. We're there. And like always, I got my ticket. You got yours.